In every age of human history, there are men who step out from the ordinary world and into a realm that very few can ever understand. Men who do not fight for glory, or for medals, or for recognition that fades with time, but for the beating hearts beside them. Men who hear the roar of danger, feel the shadow of death, and still step forward. These are the men who received the Medal of Honor. But the truth is, the medal is only a symbol. What it represents is something far deeper. A courage that does not just defy fear, it devours it. On the battlefield, when the world collapses into chaos, when the sky burns with fire and the earth trembles with explosions, courage is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not wait for applause. Courage is born in a single decision, a decision made in a heartbeat, and that heartbeat becomes history. Imagine the dust-choked heat of Iraq. Imagine bullets carving the air, grenades cracking against concrete, men scrambling for cover while the enemy closes in. In the center of that storm stood Sergeant First Class Paul R. Smith, refusing to bend, refusing to retreat. With enemy fighters pouring in from all sides, he climbed atop a vehicle, exposing himself completely, just to protect the men behind him. He fired until the weapon overheated, until the world blurred, until his strength faded, but he held the line. One man against an entire assault. He gave everything he had, including his life, so his brothers could walk away. He didn't choose glory. He chose sacrifice. And that choice became immortal. Then there was Master Sergeant Roy Benavides, a man who proved that the human spirit is stronger than bullets, grenades, or pain. Called into a rescue mission that was practically suicide, he leaped from the helicopter without hesitation. He fought armed and unarmed, dragged men to safety, carried wounded soldiers through hell itself. Bullet after bullet tore into his flesh. Shrapnel ripped through him. A bayonet pierced him. Blood soaked the ground beneath him. Yet he refused to die. 6 grueling hours he fought, defended, rescued, endured. When the battle ended, doctors zipped him in a body bag, and only then did Roy Benavides spit to show he was alive. 37 wounds, but not a single moment of surrender. That is courage beyond comprehension. And then there is a story that silences every room. The story of Navy SEAL Michael Amansor, a warrior perched on a rooftop with his brothers, guarding them from danger, scanning the horizon. Suddenly, a grenade lands near their feet. There is no time, no space, no escape. In the split second where many would freeze, Mansour moved. He didn't shout. He didn't calculate. He didn't look for another way. He covered the grenade with his own body, absorbing the explosion that would have killed everyone around him. He didn't sacrifice himself because he wanted to be remembered. He sacrificed himself because he refused to let his brothers die. That is what honor looks like. Courage is not born from strength. It is born from love. Love for those who stand beside you. Take Corporal Dakota Meyer, who refused to accept defeat, refused to accept orders that told him to stay back, refused to leave his brothers trapped in a valley of death. He climbed into a gun turret and drove directly into a storm of bullets, not once, but again and again. 5 times he entered hell. 5 times he returned with wounded comrades. 5 times he defied death because something inside him screamed louder than fear. No one gets left behind. Heroes like him did not run toward danger because they were fearless. They ran because they were needed. And then there was Captain Florent Flo Groberg, who faced down a suicide bomber with nothing but instinct and courage. He grabbed the attacker, wrestled him away from his team, and absorbed the blast that should have killed them all. He survived, but the explosion stole part of his leg. Yet even after the surgeries, the nightmares, the long months of recovery, he stood tall not as a victim, but as a reminder that real courage leaves scars. The Medal of Honor is not about perfect men. It is about men who chose to be great in the single moment when greatness mattered most. But here is the part that shakes the soul. Most Medal of Honor heroes never believed they were heroes. They cried, receiving the medal. They said, "I didn't do anything special." They said, "Others deserved this more than me." They said, "I just did what any man would do." But that humility is what makes them monumental. These men were not invincible. They were not legendary before their actions. They were ordinary human beings with families, fears, doubts, weaknesses. But when the world demanded courage, they answered. Their stories are not about war. They are about the fire that lives inside every human being. A fire that most will never see because it only ignites under impossible pressure. A fire that transforms ordinary people into legends. When your life feels overwhelming, remember Roy Benavides dragging wounded soldiers through agony even while he was dying. When you feel alone or weak, remember Paul R. Smith standing alone against an entire enemy assault. When you feel hopeless, remember Michael Mansour giving his life so others could live. When you feel like nothing you do matters, remember Dakota Meyer driving into death again and again because saving even one life mattered to him. When you feel broken, remember Flo Gruberg standing back up, stronger, even after losing a piece of himself. These men show us what humanity is capable of. They show us that courage is not something rare. It is something hidden deep within us, waiting for the moment we need it most. Their stories are powerful because they are also our stories. We all face battles, depression, failure, loss, rejection, financial struggle, broken dreams. We all face moments where fear tries to paralyze us, where doubt tries to suffocate us, where life seems impossible to fight. But inside you lives the same unbreakable fire. You may not be on a battlefield, but maybe you're fighting for your family. Maybe you're battling sickness. Maybe you're struggling to rise from failure. Maybe you're trying to rebuild yourself from the ashes. Courage is not measured by medals. Courage is measured by persistence, by the decision to keep fighting when everything inside you screams, stop. The Medal of Honor teaches us that courage is contagious. It spreads, it inspires, it elevates us. It reminds us that even when everything seems lost, a single act of bravery can rewrite destiny. So ask yourself, where is your battlefield? Who are you fighting for? What fear have you allowed to control your life? What dream have you abandoned because it looked too impossible? What part of your soul is waiting to rise? Because one day, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, you will face a moment that demands courage. A moment that will define who you truly are. A moment where the world grows silent. Fear floods your mind and your heart whispers, stand up. And in that moment, you must rise like Paul R. Smith. Rise like Roy Benavides. Rise like Rise like Dakota Meyer. Rise like Flo Gruber. Rise like the countless unsung heroes who never received medals, never saw headlines, but still chose courage every single day. You have no idea how powerful you truly are. You have no idea how many people you will inspire simply by refusing to quit. You have no idea how far you can climb when you choose bravery over fear. Maybe your courage won't be remembered in history books. Maybe there won't be ceremonies or medals. But if your courage saves even one life, if it lifts even one soul, if it ignites hope in even one person, then you too, have become a hero. Because real heroism is not about being celebrated, it's about being needed and answering the call. So wherever you are right now, whatever battle you are fighting, whatever pain you carry, whatever storm you face, do not give up. Do not surrender. Do not let fear win. You were born with the fire of warriors. You are built from the same strength as legends. Your heart beats with the same courage as the heroes who changed history. So rise. Rise for your family. Rise for your dream. Rise for the person you want to become. Rise for the people who believe in you. Rise for the world that needs your light. Rise because courage is your legacy. And when you rise, others will rise with you. This is your moment. This is your battlefield. This is your chance to choose courage. Choose strength. Choose honor. Choose to become more than you ever imagined. And if this story moved you, if it touched your heart, awakened your spirit, or lit even the smallest spark of courage inside you, then like this video. Share this video. Let the world feel this fire. Because courage spreads, and today, it begins with you.